Can you clarify your position on minimum wage?
What we're asking for when it comes to minimum wage is to sit down together and not make any kind of rash decisions based on just sort of a quick election line, like $15 an hour minimum wage. When those numbers get thrown out, and they get thrown out during a campaign, I wonder, where's $15 come from? Who's made that decision? It's a nice round number, and I guess it's really good for a little sort of 10-second hit on television, but it lacks the kind of wisdom we need to really sit down and talk about it, because the minimum wage needs to go up in BC, no question about it. It needs to go up substantially in BC. But what we need to do is sit down and say, what's the effect? So what is the effect of a $15 minimum wage? Well, we don't know. The party that's advocating for that, it doesn't have a good description. It hasn't really done any research that I can see, and certainly none that they've communicated of where the number comes from. So I'm totally supportive of a higher minimum wage. I think when we talk about a $15 minimum wage, we might be in the ballpark. We might be actually, but it might be 17. It might be regional based on the cost of living, because we know that minimum wage provincially is a nice tidy way to do it. It's certainly simpler to administer, but it may not be the most representative, and it may not be the most functional. So maybe we have to look at a different type of minimum wage. But these are ideas that need to be kicked around, and we also need to invite the businesses that depend on minimum wage workers to be part of that conversation to see what's the impact for them. Because what we don't want to have happen is push the minimum wage too fast, too high, and then find that we're actually suppressing employment, and we're actually making it harder for people to even be employed, period. So there's there's kind of a little tuning, balancing act there to do with minimum wage. You can't rush into it. You've got to do it with a kind of a calm wisdom, I think.